god, we can totally make one of these.
I don't even think I'm enjoying this.
No, I like it.
And we did, and it's fantastic.
I adore this game. It is perfect.
The following is brought to you by loudspeak.com.
It was Christmas Eve, and in the drunk tank, Barry Ladd said to me, "Won't see another one." And then he said the phrase, "Who wants to do raw?" Paul turned his face away and chatted to Joe. Got on a lucky one. Episode 85. I've got a feeling this show's for me and you. So happy Christmas. I love you, listeners. I can see a better time, but not a better show, to be honest. Hey, everyone. It's episode 185 of the ChairShot Podcast. Happy Christmas. I'm just one of your hosts, Barry Ladd, and with me, as always, are my ever-dependable and ever-so-cheery festive co-hosts. First of all, Mr. Joe Towner.
Hello.
And also, Mr. Paul Griffin.
Hello.
What's going on, chaps?
Ooh.
Just here, talking to you. Christmas.
In it, yeah. I only realised like a couple of days ago that, oh shit, I should probably do that one this week because it's the last one before Christmas.
Yeah.
Weird, isn't it?
It's just a Christmas episode, yeah.
This is the Christmas special, yeah.
Oh, where's my tinsel? Oh, the mic's not picking it up, but I'm shaking it, everyone. I actually have no tinsel in my room.
I don't either, no. It's all
I've
on
all
the
my
tree.
Christmas cards, though.
I don't have any.
What else have I got? I've got these lights that look not unlike the Jewish light things that they have at this time of year. So
The menorah.
yeah, equal opportunities here on CSP, of course. Enjoy Hanukkah. I went to someone's apartment recently, and they did have a dreidel, and I didn't want to just ask as if it's hey, are you Jewish? Because it's like it doesn't matter. But I've never seen a dreidel in person.
I thought you were going to say you were going to ask, can I have a go on it?
Well, that was the other thing that ran through my mind. I wanted to spin it because it looked so fun to spin, but
Yeah.
I didn't bother. But yeah, how's everyone's week been?
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, alright.
Christmas shopping and that.
Did you pick up any good deals?
I bought stuff. I don't know if it's good deals.
Go on.
Well, the sales aren't on yet, are they? That's after Christmas for me. Put everything half price.
Mm-hmm.
The old set.
Well, I had my Christmas shopping done already, but I did pick up today a new headset for myself, which I'm using now.
Ooh.
Because I stood on the other one and broke it.
What did you do that for?
I didn't mean to. It wasn't my intention.
I feel afraid.
I thought you were trying to reach a shelf. I just stand on the old headset. How am I doing?
He stood it up on the ears, and then he tried to stand on like the headband bit.
So I bought a, quite expensive one.
Ooh.
And then just with me and Joe who were talking here, I looked up a review of it. Just look up some reviews retrospectively to make sure I got a good one. 2.5 stars. So I've got the Miz of the headset world.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Why didn't you look up the reviews beforehand? It's weird to buy something and then look up the reviews because you're only going to be annoyed if you do that.
I think it sounds okay. So I mean,
if you're spending 35 quid, I'm sure it's fine.
it was exactly 35 quid.
Yeah.
And I'm on fiber optic broadband now.
Ooh, fancy.
So it's very fast.
It's
It's about 7 times quicker than what I was on. So
I was supposed to be due an upgrade, and my internet generally is good these days, much better than it was, as long-time CSP listeners will know. But if I'm downloading a game on the PS3, the laptop and the phone seem to struggle a little bit. The internet gets throttled, so I might have to make another phone call because I'm supposed to have fiber optic.
Yeah, we're with Vodafone here, and they started rolling it out in May. But I mean, apparently they just don't bother giving it to you unless you call them up and say, "I want it."
Yeah,
because it's no
that's
extra
weird.
charge. It's the same basic package, but now the basic package is you get the fiber optic.
Yeah, and the dude, the guy who sold us our internet package. This was only a couple months ago. At this stage, we recently switched.
Yeah.
Such a wheeler and dealer. Like God, he's such a. I've been into him since because I'm on a different mobile provider to our internet people. So every time I go into him, I'm thinking of changing. Tell me about this specific phone. I want to look at this specific phone. He's like, oh, well, yeah, I could show you that one, but look at this one now. This one now. I know you don't want to go on this particular contract, but let me tell you why you should go on this particular contract. And he's just, he's mad. So I try and avoid going in complaining about things because I feel like he'll end up selling me something if I come out. But yeah, my internet's not too bad these days. I tell you what I did last night.
Yeah.
For the first time ever, I watched No Country for Old Men.
Ooh, a long recommended movie.
Yeah, that and There Will Be Blood were two films that I can't believe they've been out for like 5 years or whatever, and I didn't see them. That other one's on my list. I'll get to that. It's on Netflix, so I'll get to that eventually. But yes, No Country for Old Men, very much enjoyed.
Yeah.
Tense, incredibly tense, kind of slick, and three great performances. I like Josh Brolin. I like Josh Brolin and everything I see him in.
Yeah.
And Tommy Lee Jones was kind of a surprise in that film. He was kind of I didn't know what to make of when I heard that voiceover at the beginning because I actually didn't know he was in it. I was like, is that Tommy Lee Jones doing the voiceover? Surely not. Not Two-Face. But it turned out it was him, and he was quite great in it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say really. I think everyone else has seen it. I mean, it's critically acclaimed, out for ages. But yeah, a lot of people in a lot of different fields cite that for a lot of inspiration. I know Chris Jericho's talked about it as a film that he watched and kind of took a bit of inspiration out of it for his 2008 character and stuff like that. But yeah, great performances, great writing, super stuff. I'm trying to think, did I watch anything else? I rewatched Anchorman, the original one, because it was on TV.
Yeah.
First of all, those guys are doing like an annoying amount of publicity. Every channel, every magazine cover. It's like
I think he actually went to Nelson Mandela's funeral as Ron Burgundy.
Oh, that would have been great. That would have been great. But like he's been on like 5 different Irish chat shows alone this week. It's mental. But anyway, the original aired last night. I remember, maybe it's because I was like 13 when it first came out, but I remember that being better. Or maybe it just wasn't.
I really like Anchorman. I think I've seen it about 7 times now. It is a very specific type of random humor almost.
Yeah,
You can tell a lot of it is just completely ad-libbed, and then they sort of cut the pieces together to sort of make a semblance of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sort of into that sort of comedy anyway, so it works for me.
Yeah. I feel like I'm just so particular when it comes to comedy because there's some completely wacky nonsense that I find repulsive and terrible, and then there's also stuff that's completely wacky that I love. And it's just, I think comedy is just, I don't think anyone can really explain what type of comedy they like because you'll always be caught off guard by something that I usually like this, but I don't like it now, or I don't normally like this, but this is.
Barry's been cut off midpoint there.
I think you get the drift.
Yeah, I mean, with comedy,
comedy equals different.
Well, I think comedy is more
Which is
subjective.
why some people like Derek.
Don't talk to me about that show. But comedy is, I think, more subjective than other genres a lot of the time. Oh, Barry's back. There he is. And I'm seeing Anchorman 2 tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. Although one thing Barry did mention just now is the overwhelming amount of publicity that's being done for it. I mean, I could gladly never see Ron Burgundy's face again. Every time you go on YouTube, there's 10 latest Ron Burgundy locally topical videos. And it's just like, none of them are jokes. None of them are jokes. There's one for FIFA 14, which is obviously, been brought out for the UK market, where he goes, "You people are at home playing your FIFA. How do you enjoy it? It's a boring sport. What, it's fun? Okay." And that's it. That's the joke. And I was like, what? I almost feel like they're doing so much of these. I think initially it was quite clever where it would be like, in Ireland, there was like a love-hate video. I thought, that's quite clever that they're doing so locally. But there's so many of them. I think it's actually doing more bad than good for the movie in terms of, goodwill. I think it's almost as if I've been so overexposed to him just over the last month that when I go and see the movie, the novelty of it being Ron Burgundy again will have already worn off.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm seeing it tomorrow anyway in Iffy Valley, so I'll have a review of that next week.
It's like if Gervais decided to do season 3 of The Office. He's already prostituted that character out so much in the last 2 years that it wouldn't be an awesome novelty to see David Brent again.
Yeah. It's exactly like that. On the old movie talk spiel, just one last thing about No Country for Old Men. That's the one that Javier Bardem won the Oscar for best best supporting actor, and he's really fantastic in that movie.
Stunning, yeah. Chilling is the word.
Chilling with his little bob haircut.
Yeah, that was Yeah.
If people haven't seen, by the way, I reckon a lot of people haven't seen it. But if people like Javier Bardem from, he was really great at Skyfall as well. There's a little known Spanish movie called Beautiful, which he's in, which he's really great in as well. So if people are interested at all in branching out into sort of world cinema, that could be a sort of place to start, because he's very good in, and Javier Bardem, everyone knows who he is. I don't remember if I saw 1 or 2 movies this week. Where did I stop last week with my X-Men?
I believe you'd only seen the first one, wasn't it?
No, surely not.
First, yeah.
Oh no! You saw the first 3. You saw the 3 main ones. You saw, yeah.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, I still haven't seen Skyfall. I might watch that tonight.
Oh well, Javier Bardem is excellent in Skyfall, and it's a really good movie. Really, really good. I'd say probably my second favorite Bond movie of the 23.
What's the one?
No, you know what? It's the best one. It's the best of the 23.
Oh, it's my favorite as well.
I think it's the best one. I got confused there for a second, thinking that Casino Royale was still my favorite one, but it's actually better than Casino Royale. I think I even spoke about this on this show, about how Casino Royale's got a very weak last act.
Yeah.
Where Skyfall's really strong the whole way through.
I really love Casino Royale anyway, though, and I was not a big Bond person.
Yeah.
Casino Royale was great. Forget about Quantum Solace. If you want to talk about that one. I mentioned Skyfall was very good. I heard.
Well, I mean, they got Sam Mendes to direct this, so really, for once, a really strong director, and
Adele to do the song.
Yeah, I mean, great song. Yeah. No, I really like Skyfall, but this week I've watched. Well, if I already got up as far as X-Men 3 last week, that means this week I watched X-Men Origins Wolverine, X-Men First Class, and The Wolverine, because I've finished them now. X-Men, it's weird because before I'd seen the 3 of them, my anticipation was going to be that I would hate X-Men Origins, love First Class, and The Wolverine would fall somewhere in the middle. But actually, none of that happened. I quite liked X-Men Origins Wolverine. I thought I think that's sort of almost what superhero movies should be like. It was completely wacky, completely stupid, like completely brainless. I think probably the worst CGI I've ever seen in a major motion picture. Like comically bad CGI. It was like a sci-fi Sharknado movie almost.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was. But bad CGI didn't really stop my enjoyment of the movie. I thought it was suitably wacky. With characters being flipped around and fighting on top of cooling towers of nuclear power plants and stuff. That sort of wackiness. I thought it was fun.
Where comic book characters should be fighting.
Yeah,
so that someone can fall in and become an ultra character.
Will.i.am was in as well. He was probably one of the weaker points, so he's not very good.
What? I don't even remember that.
He does die in it, yeah.
Thank God for that.
Deadpool, of course.
I
is
really
in that
like.
one.
I've never seen any of Liev Schreiber. What's his name? Liev
Schreiber.
Schreiber. Yeah, I've never seen him in anything else, but I really like him as Sabretooth. I thought he was much better.
Seen Scream too.
I've not seen Scream. I've not seen any Screams.
I've
But-
seen. I think I've seen them, but they all run together. I couldn't.
As someone who doesn't watch horror movies, I've not seen any of the Screams. I like him as Sabretooth. I think he was much better than the more accurately portrayed Sabretooth that was in X-Men 1. I just think that portrayal of the character was more interesting. And yeah, I quite enjoyed X-Men Origins Wolverine. Didn't take itself seriously at all. X-Men First Class, however, I thought took itself too seriously. To the point where it was a little dull at some points. I really didn't like First Class as much as I thought I would. I think the problem as well was that although McAvoy and Fassbender are very good in it, I think it's a step down from Stewart and McKellen. So that almost felt like a step back in a way. And then the rest of the cast, while they were fine, I feel like it was missing that core Wolverine character that you sort of rally behind. So the sort of supporting cast all felt a little too weak. Both the heroes and I mean January Jones, like an all-time bad performance, worse than Halle Berry in the first X-Men. X-Men First, I liked Beast. I thought Beast was very well portrayed by Nicholas Hoult. I like Beast I like Kelsey Grammer as Beast though as well in X-Men 3.
Yeah, I was a big fan of that. Here we go.
So X-Men First Class, it was fine. Apart from the fact that it took itself so seriously, I thought it was very well made after X-Men Origins, which was a complete shambles in terms of actually being made as a film. And then the Wolverine, which I watched only 2 nights ago, I thought was excellent. I thought it was really, really good. I thought it had the perfect balance of taking itself seriously, but also being quite wacky in some places. And sort of like Thor. I know people don't like Thor, but I liked in Thor when they had the scene set in Asgard, because it just goes against, the superhero movie archetype of
those bits too.
Yeah, so I liked the Wolverine set in Japan, so it's really unlike any, Iron Man, Spider-Man.
It's mental over there, isn't it?
Yeah,
Weird stuff.
I swear the amount of racist jokes I made watching it was
Just
off
to
the
yourself.
charts. There was one bit where I go, there's
Are you
one.
recounting your own joke to us that you made to nobody?
Yeah, there's a Japanese woman in it whose power is that she can see. She can pour. What's the word I'm looking for?
She can see through her eyelids.
No, she can foresee people's death. Okay.
Okay.
So she says to Wolverine, "I see that you're gonna die." Bit like Desmond in Lost. I know you guys didn't watch that, but people get that reference. But then he's asking her for more information, and she's like, "I can't see everything. It's like looking through a keyhole." I was like, "That she should be great at that then."
No.
Perfect fit. But yeah, really, really, really good movie. I
Did you
actually
watch the director's cut?
no, that's not actually out over here. I bought it on Blu-ray. You see.
I hear it's super brutal. It's like,
Yeah,
it's
apparently.
it's a lot more violent.
What I'm
also-
gonna do is I'm gonna illegally download it when just before Days of Future Past comes out, and I'll watch that cut then to get myself hyped up for that.
Yeah, I forgot that's why you were rewatching it, because that thing was coming out.
Yeah, exactly.
But did you read the story that Rogue
Is being cut out of it, yeah.
completely edited out? I didn't bother reading it because I didn't really care that much. Was there a reason behind that? or-
Well, apparently she was only going to be in like one scene, and then they decided that it just wasn't necessary.
Okay.
So,
So
well,
not as
this is only
dramatic,
hearsay. I only heard this from somebody else. I've not read anything about it myself, but apparently that's what it was. But my scores are going to be X-Men Origins Wolverine gets a 6, X-Men First Class gets a 7, and the Wolverine gets an 8. So there you go.
Solid picks.
Nice.
So thus ends my X-Men Odyssey for the moment. Don't know what-
That'd be a good film.
Yeah, that would be. I don't know what I'm going to watch next. Maybe.
Next week, Daredevil.
Well, I'm seeing Anchorman 2 tomorrow,
God.
Oh,
and possibly we'll try and watch Cloud because I'm off all this week from work, so I'll try and watch Cloud Atlas. I'm getting 2 Blu-rays for Christmas: Tintin, which I've seen 3 times,
Oh god.
And what else am I getting? I forget. Oh, I'm getting The General with Buster Keaton. So, an old school review maybe as well. Have you seen any movies, Joe?
I have not watched any movies this week.
Oh my god.
I will probably watch some over the festive period. Catch up with all the movies that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Iron Man 3.
I should probably watch Iron Man 3 soon as well.
Iron Man 3 is great.
Yeah.
And Prisoners. Got that to watch.
Well, Prisoner is my favorite movie of the year.
Yeah.
I as well as watching No Country for Old Men, played more games this week. I spoke.
Well, are we going to get the Monday update, Barry?
In a bit.
Oh, well, I don't. People are waiting for it.
All right.
No. Let's tease them.
All right, let's tease them out. Let's tell them what they really want to hear about, which is how I played Hotline Miami this week.
Ooh, a good game.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I talked last week. In fact, I just finished Guacamelee before I came on last week, and so I was perusing, just like what did I miss this year that I can actually afford to buy? I can't go out and get Assassin's Creed 4. I don't have the money for that.
Nice bit of string.
No, a bit of hoop and stick. Can't find them around here anymore. Sold all them for crack. So I had a look. I found Hotline Miami. Now I realized that came out last year, but only came out this year on PlayStation. So we'll count that as a game from 2013. So I got that, and it is bloody tremendous. I very much enjoyed it. Kind of hard to explain. It's a top-down kind of 2D. Looks a little bit like GTA, classic GTA. Stealth game, kind of.
Yeah.
It's like an action game, but it's like one hit, one kill. So basically, you have to clear like entire safe houses full of bad guys. But the second one of them gets their hands on you or shoots you once, you're done for. And so it's incredibly well designed as a game. But I think the thing that really makes it stand out is it has this utterly bizarre sort of presentation, kind of neon-soaked 2D graphics with like an 80s aesthetic, and a story that I still can't really comprehend like a couple of days after playing, where basically you are a hitman / mental patient. I don't know what's going on. It's just it's really weird, but it's very, very addictive, and it's one of those games where I feel like I'm going to go back and try and get all the high scores and find all the secrets and do all that stuff. Very much recommended. It's only like £7 on PlayStation, and it is cross-buy, so I have yet another reason to get a Vita if I ever get around to doing that. I saw some good deals on them over Christmas, but I don't know. So yeah, that comes highly recommended. That was one of my favorites of the year. That and Guacamelee. I checked it out, and also buy the soundtrack. The soundtrack is so good. I've been playing it all week, basically. But yeah, that was my other entertainment-y endeavor this week. I still haven't finished The Road. I'm an incredibly slow reader, so it's taking me a while.
You're still on the title.
There's a big long quote from the Times on the cover, and to be honest, it's a bit of a slog. But yeah, I'm loving it, but I'm just a very slow reader, so I'll probably get through that over Christmas. That was kind of what inspired me to watch No Country for Old Men after all this time.
Cormac McCarthy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, yeah. So yeah, I guess I should probably tell the story about Monday next. For those of you, it's not. I feel like I have overhyped it because there's not a whole load to it. But for those of you who forgot or aren't keeping up or don't care,
it was a blog.
I had a rendezvous with a female. She was a female. I can clarify. Well, I assume I didn't see the definitive evidence, unfortunately, but it certainly seemed that way on the surface. But yes, my long anticipated Tinder date did occur. Friend of the show, Johnny. We were chatting to him before the event, and he asked me where it was, and I told him. And he said, "Hang on, will you be there at such and such a time?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, well, I'll be there." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "I've been worked," but no, Johnny was having some kind of shindig with his friends at the same time. So sure enough, when I showed up, it was kind of just a lunch date. The girl had her last exam was was Monday afternoon, and so we met up to get food after it. I feel like I should probably just quickly. If you don't remember, I made a connection on Tinder, the dating app, with a girl with an American lass who was studying at my university, and we agreed to meet up on Monday. So that's what happened. So yeah, we met up. We had food. We had a pint. She was very nice. I was my usual charming self. Mentioned CSP. I was just like, look, I'm not trying to say I'm a big deal, but could I direct you to my friend James Harrod? He'd probably have a nice thing or two to say about me, kind of like a reference on a CV.
Send her to his Instagram.
What I should have done actually was I should have just she didn't wear glasses unfortunately, but I could have just put a little bit of Vaseline in her eyes because there's me on Instagram. Look at those abs. Don't focus on the face. Just no, that's you can kind of see in the corner of your eye that it's kind of me, according to some people. So that's good. Yeah. So don't try and feel the actual abs because I'm bulking this week, so so you can't tell. But yeah, honestly, not a lot came of it. Basically, she's probably gone home. Yes, 21st today, so she's probably gone home. But she was kind of an American doing a few months of study here, not unlike when I went to Scotland earlier this year. And she was going home, I think, yesterday evening. And we had said that we would both be sort of out socializing on Thursday, which we were. And we might try and meet up. But we never did because by the time I stumbled into my usual haunt, I was in no condition to try and contact her, so I didn't.
No condition to perform.
No condition to. Oh, well, there's another story, but I won't tell that.
He was very Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, I was. We all remember Victory Road 2011. I don't suppose either of you watched Impact because he did say that this week.
I watched the clips on the YouTube.
But anyway, we won't get into Impact just yet because people who don't care about Impact wanted to hear this story. But yeah, she was really nice. It was so weird because it was like. It was a very traditional first quote-unquote date. Yes, we both know there'd be no follow-up because she's out of the country now. It was weird. I don't know. But it was also interesting because it's like I can't remember the last time I actually went on a first date, in quotation marks, of that style. Feels like the type of thing you do when you're younger. But yeah, it was cool. I had the good fortune of, on Thursday night, bumping into yet another American in Ireland. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
Swarming all over the place. And she was also very nice. And that's another story for another podcast.
Oh my god.
Dirty laundry, perhaps.
What?
That's still a thing, right?
Never heard of it.
No, me neither. But yeah, I hate to disappoint people who are expecting me to reveal on this show that I'm moving to America, but I'm not. But yeah, it was fun to do the date thing, and also I can officially say I met a person off of Tinder. I can scratch that off the bucket list. So yeah, that's the story.
That's a nice story.
All right, the Thursday story is better, but
Tinders are so weird. I got talking to this one. And it was like, you've got a connection. I was like, all right, have a look at this. 6,600 kilometers. I was like,
yeah,
that's weird. I have it set to. What happened was she was on a layover in Dublin Airport.
Oh my god.
So I was like, all right, see ya. Oh well.
You could get people flying over your house. They happen to check Tinder as they go over.
Another bird. God darn it. Yeah, it's a good little app. Interesting app.
The worst thing, the good thing about it too is that when you open that little message window when you're told you get a match, you can just tell straight away if they're not going to be worth talking to. Because I got a match. She's a pretty good looking girl. I was like, oh, nice one here. And I was like trying to get conversation out of her with like getting blood out of a stone.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, bye. And it was just the last I ever spoke to her. But yeah, it's a fun little time killer. Whatever.
The best thing about it is the old accidental swipe to the right. You're like, no!
And you can't go back. There's no logs.
And conversely, the swipe to the left. Oh, that was a good one. Oh. Why was she in the middle of 8 heifers?
Yeah, that's the worst thing. Yeah, I'm getting to the point now where I'm not even going to look at the extra photos and be like,
Oh well, let's see if she's one of the good-looking ones. Like, no, you're trying to deceive me. I'm not having this. You're probably like, oh, I'm not gonna be mean. But yeah, it is something else.
I was ready for a mean joke there. I had one more thing. Oh yeah, people have been waiting for this week's Mama story. It's only a little one, but I thought it was quite funny. This is Mama, by the way, for those who are unaware, believes in voodoo and believes not only that he believes in it, believes he can do it. He was saying this week how someone had done something to him, and he had a bit of a sore shoulder, I think it was. And I was like, oh, that's what it must be, yeah. Because sometimes when I have a sore shoulder, first thing I think is, oh, someone's done voodoo on me. Mm-hmm. So anyway, what happened was we were at a meeting anyway. We walked back to our chairs, and I got there before Mama. And I looked down, and there was a little stone on the floor by his chair. Not like a pebble, but a little...
a casting stone.
Yeah, like a little...
From the depths of Skyrim.
Maybe an inch and a half across. And maybe, I don't know, half an inch high. That sort of shape. And I picked it up anyway. I went, "Oh, Mama, did you drop this, or was it?" And he was shocked. He was appalled. He was like, "Oh no, it's decharged now!" And he grabbed it off me and got a little bag out of his bag. And I couldn't see what he was doing then, but apparently, I don't know what happened. I don't know whether it was because I picked it up that I ruined his little stone, or the fact that it was on the floor. But he was very upset about it.
Well, it was charging on the floor, Paul. Come on.
So
did you not see the chi seeping out of the carpet into the stone?
So it had become discharged somehow, and he.
We've all been there, lads.
So he put it in this little special bag he had hidden, and then I've not seen it since. So I reckon it probably was, and I also caught him in the week on his computer looking at some. It looked like one of those little Wiccan sites, you know, where the little teenagers go, "Oh, I'm going to cast a love spell." It was like that sort of thing with little pentagrams and shit. I was like, this guy is like 50 years old or something.
Yeah, I on to that end, I once went to a lady's apartment building on campus.
Yeah.
You know, to investigate the architecture of the room. And while she was in the bathroom, I was just kind of, you know, tiny little room, so it's not like I was snooping, but just I saw right there on her bedside desk a book on like witchcraft, and it was Wiccan, and it was just like,
That's
now,
why I'm here. She tricked me.
Is this she tricked me into coming here? But I was like, no. Now, is this is just a wacky little book she's reading, or should I be concerned? Like, how serious is this witchcraft nonsense? Not that I think it's real, but how mental is she to think it's real is the question, I suppose.
Well, what age was she, this girl?
She was my age.
18,
like,
19? Well, I don't know when this was.
Oh, sorry, this was like 2 years ago.
Okay. Well, when I was in high school, obviously I went to
14.
a boarding school. Well, this would have been about 15. We, there was these two guys who used to go and sit in the woods and do spells with like little sticks and dirt and stuff.
Did they work?
No.
Oh, did they wear robes and make you call them Harry and Ron?
In their university. No, it wasn't until Harry Potter. It was the Wiccan. One of them's a bisexual now.
Not that has anything to do with it.
And I think the other's a nurse.
Well, don't mention the bisexual twice. Come on.
God.
No, he just got engaged actually. The other guy.
Right.
And he's like 5 foot tall. He got engaged to this girl who's like 6'2".
Oh God, that's terrible.
No, not terrible. I think that's a good thing.
Oh well.
Good job.
Sorry, it's not terrible on a philosophical level, but it looks weird.
Yeah, I suppose.
I can't imagine how difficult it must be to be a short man. Do you know what I mean? Because you must always be the butt of jokes. I mean, I'm like, I'm.
That's because you are a giant.
Well, I'm not that. But
What are you, like 6'2"?
Well, 6'1", over 6, but barely. But it's like, yeah. But it's just, I take that for granted. But when I think of all the short people, like from school and stuff, that have been ridiculed because they're small.
Well, Barry, you know Joe's right here.
Well, Joe's he's a mature man. You know, he's able to take it in his stride.
Let's move on.
Well, but yeah, witches. I have friends currently that I know today and are in my university year who own a Ouija board, and some of them get upset when the others pull it out and like, no, come on, guys, come on,
Let's not mess
do
with
this.
spirits, guys.
I need to get my sleep tonight, and that's going to disrupt it. Come on. And it's just like, I can't believe you take it. They're like, do you want to come over and do it? I'm like, yeah, whatever, sure, do it. It's like, are you sure? It's like, yes, I'm sure, because I don't believe there will be any consequence of it at all. I mean, you're all freaked out by it afterwards because you've convinced yourself it's real, not because there's actual proof it's real, you know?
Did you ever meet a witch, Joe?
Not that I know
Oh, but possibly.
of. But, you never know what people get up to sometimes those days.
Okay. Well, shall we get into emails then? What a segue.
Alrighty.
I have mine open here, so I'm going to go first for a change, if you don't mind. I have 4 emails.
Oh.
There's got to be some kind of record. Let's go over to the telephone mobile device. First one comes from Scott, who's trying to convince me the benefits of the PlayStation Vita. He says, "Hello, Paul. After hearing you question why somebody would want a PS Vita when they have a PS4, I thought I'd let you know it's for crossplay. This allows you to start the game on your PS4, then start playing on your Vita without losing any progress. This comes in real handy when your girlfriend wants to watch Total Divas and you want to play Assassin's Creed or FIFA at the same time.
Who would play either of them instead of watching Total Divas?
Surely you can see how handy this would be. Hopefully this helps explain why the Vita has a point of being useful. Merry Christmas, Scott." Well, I mean, I knew what crossplay was, first of all. But I just still don't see the appeal of it. I mean, how much is a PS Vita?
150
Euro?
No, actually, it's probably €200.
So what? That's what in dollars is about what? $220?
I have no clue. It's about $200 wherever.
But is that worth paying just for crossplay? Just so you can, you already have a console to play your games on. I mean, if it was like a €50 add-on, sure. But I mean, and then on the other hand, I don't know that games of any kind are so important that when your girlfriend says, "I want to watch Total Divas," you can't just pause it for half an hour or turn it off. I mean, I don't see the appeal of paying for crossplay. I mean, even with the Wii U, it's part of the console, and if you really need it for whatever reason, you have the option, but not to buy a PS Vita for that. And there's no games on PS Vita that really grab me. So a PS Vita just does not, for me. It's a personal thing. A PS Vita does not appeal to me really, and it's not a hangover of me hating the PlayStation, because I was very anti-PlayStation for many years until the PS3. That was the first one I ever owned. But even PS, what's it called? The PlayStation Portable? I was going to say PlayStation Play.
What?
The PSP. PSP
Yeah.
now. I never liked the PSP.
I get it.
PS Vita. I guess in certain situations that the crossplay option would be handy for people, but it's too expensive for that.
I was talking to someone about it this week. I think it was someone known to the show. I can't remember who it was, but I would greatly appreciate a PS4 Vita bundle where I was saving maybe £100 on buying them separately. That would convince me to make the jump and get the Vita.
Well, I feel the same way about the Vita that I do with the Wii the Wii U, excuse me, in terms that I would only buy one for the games library anyway, and neither of them have a games library strong enough to sort of grab me just yet. So maybe that might be one for closer to the end of its lifespan when there's already an established library. But right now, no. I don't even have a PS4 yet, for God's sake. Second email comes from Steve. Subject, the lotto. Did you guys hear about this Mega Millions lottery in the US?
Yeah.
I think it was like 630 million, something like that.
No. I think they referenced it on Raw.
I actually have the figure right here. Quite a good guess by me. He says, "Greetings from the Bay Area. As to last week, floor space is limited, but a possibility." That was regarding us possibly sleeping on his floor around WrestleMania time. He says, sadly, he did not win the 636 million lottery jackpot on Tuesday.
Ah,
He says he's not sure what he would have done with the money. Maybe buy TNA so he could fire Dixie Carter live on Impact. Give Quackenbush enough money so he stops this sad version of Chikara. What would you guys have done with the money? Travel? Buy Windsor Castle? Love the show. Keep up the good work.
I'd have bought Legoland Windsor. Live there.
What is Windsor Castle exactly?
It's a
it's the
castle,
Queen's Castle.
and it's in Windsor.
Where's Windsor?
It's a place in England.
Okay.
It has Legoland.
All right.
Yeah, it's in there.
I've actually been to that Legoland.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's cool. It's nice. I mean, I hear a lot of people talking about how the Euro Disneyland isn't as good as the American one, but the Windsor Legoland is really cool. Scary.
Fair enough.
Or compared to the real Legoland.
Well, I assume there's a cooler Legoland in the States.
I don't know. What would we do with the money?
Oh, that's like an insane amount that it's just. Well, I don't want to say it's too much because you could, never have to worry about paying the bills. I'd do up this house. I would hate to move out of I would hate to change my life that drastically. Probably do up this place. Set your family up for life. All the good Samaritan shit that we'd all do. Come on, we know that.
I'd open a savings account. You imagine the interest on that on a per year basis.
Oh yeah, it'd be insane.
That'd be like that'd be like a salary. You know?
Well, hang on. So if it's over 600 million, then even if it's 1% interest, oh, my math's gonna fail me here. What's that? 6 million a year?
Roughly, yeah.
Jeez, but I would do. Actually, I've thought about this before. If I won like 100 grand in the lottery, so not insanity 600 million, but I would do a tour of the US, sort of with the biggest wrestling companies. So I would start off at some WWE show in Madison Square Garden, and then hit Ring of Honor and go to all the major companies, and then culminate at PWG on the West Coast, and go to every notable company along the way, and also just visit people I know in the States and hang out and do other cool American things that are not just wrestling. I'd basically just go on a big fucking huge tour of the US and do all the awesome things I've wanted to do for years.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, I'm not a driver, so I wouldn't buy a car. Buy a PS4. In fact, I'd build a house out of them with that money.
Would you buy a Vita as well, though?
I would. I would make the stretch, and I'd buy the Vita separately if I won 600 million. I'd buy 2 Vitas.
Just to leave around the house.
I'd buy Fluffy her own Vita.
I would buy 3 Vitas, 1 to play and 2 to tie to my shoes as sort of slide along like I'm on an ice rink. I'd
buy 100 and just throw them at poor people on the bus.
I'd probably prop up a few tables with some Vitas as well. I just invest heavily in Vitas, make some clothes out of them. Yeah, I don't. That is really a life-changing amount of money. I mean, even 1 million is completely life-changing. You've seen people's lives ruined by much smaller amounts of money.
Would you tell people if you won 640 million?
I probably wouldn't tell them, but they'd ask me why all my clothes are made of gold.
Why are you living in a?
Why are you wearing those Vita pajamas?
Why are you living in Windsor Castle, but now it's made of Vitas?
Wasn't that in The Simpsons? I think Homer. Was it a daydream he had where he won the lottery or something, and he comes and he's now giant and made of gold?
Yeah. Look closer, Liddy.
Did you get a haircut or something? No, you're giant and made of gold now. I watched some Simpsons, by the way, today. On season 3 now, disc 2, which had Treehouse of Horror 2 and Lisa's Pony, 2 very good episodes. So I'm enjoying that very much.
Yeah, I watched some Simpsons, classic Simpsons on Thursday. It was the Frank Grimes episode.
Ooh, I'm probably a long way away from that.
Yeah, that's season 6. What was the? And then the follow up was the 3 spin-off episodes with Chief Wiggum and Skinner and as the cops and stuff. And, that one, yeah, that was great. Also, speaking of PS4s, I actually did play a PS4 this week.
I've played an Xbox One.
What's that like?
Just like the Xbox 360.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I went to my friend's house on Thursday night, and typically we'll have a few drinks, and we like to play some beat 'em ups on the old video game consoles while we're having our drinks. And for the last few months, it's been Injustice, the very, very good DC character fighting game based on sort of the Mortal Kombat engine. And so this is the first time I've been to my buddy's house since he got a PS4, and we played Injustice in slightly higher definition, I guess, because they released like an Ultimate Edition of that on the PS4, but it's the same fucking game. It just has all the DLC and it's shinier. But it's cool. Those controllers are really, really nice.
Yeah, I've not had my hands on one of them yet. The Xbox One controller, it just feels the same to me. I only had it for about a minute. I think it was what's the racing game? Is it Forza that they have out on it?
Forza 5, yeah.
Yeah, I was playing that. I was like, yeah, I mean, it looks good, but it's not like the grand departure from like Xbox to 360. You know what I mean? It's a much smaller leap in terms of visually, and even in terms of the hardware. I mean, the controller, it just felt very similar to me.
I think it's just because so many people consider the 360 one to be like damn near perfect. So. Yeah. PS4 is like they fix those stupid triggers on the PS3.
Yeah, I don't like that. And also the sticks, I believe, aren't still convex.
Yeah, that's great. They're concave, so you can just it's like you're slotting your thumbs into them.
That's one problem I really had with the PS3 was those sticks.
Yeah,
never liked them.
But the PS4 one is like it's the same classic PlayStation design, but they fix the sticks, they fix the triggers. Whole thing feels sturdy. The touchpad is weird because there's no start button anymore, so it's like I don't know what I'm doing to pause that thing, but it's cool. Yeah, it's peaceful. I mean, it's early days, but yeah, it's cool.
My third email comes from James Howard.
Ooh.
It's the Undertaker. He can't come after McMahon. It's the best return since Judgment Day 2000. Coming in at right around 46 minutes into the show, just like the Undertaker did. He says, "Hi Paul, apologies for the long gap between emails. I've still been listening and the show has been top notch. This Christmas, if you were to invite one wrestler to join your festivities, who would it be?" Thanks, James. I'm gonna go for one wrestler to come and join me at Christmas. Let's go for God, who would you want to Christmas? Let's get Mark Henry. He's the good Santa now, apparently.
Yeah,
he could bring gifts. Although there wouldn't be much turkey left for everyone else.
I was gonna say, didn't you make fun of me for my ideal dinner thing for having like Ryback and KFC?
AJ Lee.
Yeah, you want to have AJ Lee and Colin Delaney.
AJ Lee can eat no food and get down afterwards, so all good.
What?
Yeah, unless you start shouting at people.
Paul Sexist Griffin. Women are objects.
Well, no, they aren't. She would be one, but the rest of them are grand. That's why I'm not inviting the other ones, because they're probably too busy with their own lives and good. Because rights, innit? Yeah. So there you go. Thanks. Who do you guys take to your Christmas parties?
Renee Young.
Dusty Rhodes.
And why?
Because
he's sound.
Right. So I'm the only one getting any out of this deal. Fair enough.
Hang on, what makes you think I'm not going to get any off Renee Young?
Well, come on.
Wait, what do you mean, come on? I'm charming.
Come on now.
Right. Finally, thanks for that, James, by the way. Welcome back.
The North Americans love me, mate.
Long wait.
Cheers back.
And the final one comes from Will. He says he was just wondering what the CSP crew are looking forward to next year. WrestleMania 30, the World Cup, not the TNA one. Godzilla, Days of Future Past. Merry Christmas, Paul, Barry, and Joe from Will. I am looking forward to all of those things.
I don't think I'm looking forward to any of those things.
No.
I'm certainly looking forward to the World Cup, obviously.
Yeah.
Because England are going to win it. This is our year, lads. Come on.
It's
66 all over again.
home. It's coming, football coming home.
Whoa.
3 lads on a shirt.
WrestleMania 30, maybe. I don't know.
Well, with the news that's come out over the last day, Joe, WrestleMania 30.
We'll get to that. All in good time.
Let's just say I might be walking in a pit of happiness because WrestleMania 30 is going to be
all
excellent.
I can say to
Is
that,
what I'm saying.
Paul, is
Yeah. And Godzilla, yeah, I'm really looking forward to Godzilla.
Oh yeah, I guess I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
I didn't know that, right?
And Days of Future Past, X-Men. I mean, that's why I've just watched 6 movies in the last 2 weeks just for that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that too.
Looking forward to the Wolf of Wall Street.
That's been getting great reviews.
I think it comes out on Christmas in America, but not till January here. So,
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
yeah. Also, I think Chris Nolan's new film's out. In the next year as well.
Interstellar, yeah, they brought out a teaser trailer. Didn't really reveal much, but I've enjoyed every Chris Nolan film he's brought out. So, do you know is Jonathan Nolan involved in the writing of Interstellar?
I don't know.
Because he's always struck me as sort of the true genius behind a lot of these. Like Memento was based on one of his short stories. He co-wrote. In fact, I think he co-writes a lot of them.
He's credited as a writer on IMDb. So.
Okay, well, good.
And also, apparently, Anchorman 2 is out.
And I'm seeing it tomorrow.
Oh, right. I don't know if anyone knew.
I'm looking forward to Godzilla. I think that would be good.
Yeah, good director, good cast.
Watch Dogs.
Of course.
Looking forward to that. I heard a rumor, mumblings, that could be delayed as far back as autumn of next year, and not spring,
Jesus.
as is currently confirmed. It's currently confirmed for spring, but
Okay.
I suppose do it right, don't do it fast. I guess.
I'm also looking forward to the UFC coming to Dublin for the first time in, what is it, 6 years? Almost 7 years?
Is that going to be on their little internet network thing?
Probably, yeah. But I won't be watching all that because I'll be watching it from
person.
cage side. Yeah. I'm also looking forward to...
Paul will be scoring that fight, by the way, so if you're not happy with any of the decisions, you know where to send your anger.
Yeah, Dave Meltzer and Paul scored it that way for Marks. Dana White will be going mad. There's something else I was going to say I'm looking forward to. What was it now? The Return of Gravity Falls I'm looking forward to. Because when Gravity Falls isn't on, a bit of my life is empty.
I've got like the majority of that show still to watch. I think.
Oh, come on, Barry.
Wait, hang on. I've seen 10 episodes. So what's that?
Yeah, there's 20.
Okay, so yeah, okay. I've got half of it. That's good.
That is a super show, and I'm really excited for that to come back.
I'm very much enjoying it. Yeah.
You know what? This is the first year where Game of Thrones is going to be on, and I'm like, I feel like I just lost a lot of enthusiasm for that show. I think the magic of it is sort of lost on me now.
Yeah.
Although there was the episode 9 of last season was easily one of the best episodes of the show's entire run. I just feel like I don't know. I'm just a little bit more apathetic towards it. I still have to watch Boardwalk Empires last season. I still haven't started that yet.
I started it and then forgot about it.
I might try and run through that this week because it's only 10 episodes. It's 12 episodes. Sorry. So what's that for? Yeah, I can probably run through that in a week. And of course, I'm looking forward to my birthday and Christmas next year.
You having another one?
Yeah, I liked it so much this year. I thought I'd do it again.
Oh.
Let me think. I'm not really looking forward to WrestleMania because it's not like I've been thrilled with it for the last few years, and it's not like I'm going to it. Looking forward to graduating, getting done and dusted with that college gimmick.
Really?
Seeing what life, well, not really.
Stay at university forever.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that I might do that, but I don't think I can. Said Watch Dogs. What are the films? I don't think anything else really has my attention. Last of Us DLC, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything. Yeah, that's all I got.
Well, they're all my emails, so thank you to all the people who sent them. And if you want to send an email, yes, you, the listener who didn't email us today, I'll tell you where you can go to do that. It's ChairShotPodcast.com. Click on the email us tab there. While you're there, also click on the Twitter and Facebook buttons. twitter.com/ChairShotPod, Facebook.com/ChairShotPodcast, and YouTube.com/ChairShotPodcast, where, now that my internet is fast, I'm also going to be uploading entire episodes to our YouTube channel. So subscribe there if you're one of those people who prefers YouTube to iPods and so on.
Mm-hmm.
That also helps people on their mobile devices for streaming the show. Instead of, I know some people have issues with the Loudspeak site, so if you're unable to stream the show, you can now stream it on YouTube on your mobile device.
Mm-hmm.
So ChairShot go there, ChairShotPodcast.com, email us, and also the complete episode archives up there with every episode we've ever done, all the way back nearly 4 years now, back in 2010, a month before Batista sadly left us, never to return. Funny how it all goes full circle, like that fella who almost beat Batista in an MMA fight. He was so yeah, every episode is up there. But if you want to email us, ChairShotPodcast.com, contact us, or email us, tab, and send your email. We will read out on the show. Who wants to go next?
I will. So, I got an email from Scott. He says, if the WWE Network does turn out to be an internet subscription service, do you think they would have problems streaming their pay-per-views, or their pay-per-views rather, like every small wrestling company has had? If they do have problems, how do you think WWE would try and make it up to their subscribers? Considering WWE would be counting on each arena that hosts the pay-per-view to have a strong enough internet connection to support possibly hundreds of thousands of connections at once, WWE better have their ducks in a row before jumping into this area. Merry Christmas to you and the rest of the crew, and Merry Christmas to Barry Mam. That is from Scott. Thank you very much, Scott, as always. I think they'd get it under control. They've had some minor issues in the past, I've heard, but I don't feel like they haven't really focused on internet pay-per-view. Like, they don't even make it apparent. They don't even make it super obvious that you can buy it that way. So I imagine that once they've actually announced to everyone, our network is online, and that's going to be the main way to get our pay-per-views from now on, they're going to put the money and the people into it to fix it. It's not going to be an ROH problem or similar. They're going to make the effort to make sure that service is as complete and as dependable as it can be. There might be some growing pains at first, as there always is with these things, but I do not expect there to be consistent issues. As for how they'd make it up to them, I don't know. They'll find a way to accommodate people. They'll reimburse them for the individual month or whatever, or they'll give them a free DVD or something. They'll do right by their people, I'm sure.
One thing that I think is sort of flown on the radar a little bit is the experience that they've been having over the last year streaming live content to their app. So it's not like they're going in totally cold. I mean, they've been. I know it's not the same amount of viewers that a pay-per-view would get, or maybe it is. Maybe 50,000 or whatever. They've been playing live content online for, in little bits and pieces for the better part of a year now. So I don't anticipate there being so many problems.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll go pretty well.
I've watched some bits and bobs on the app, and it works. It's fine. It's the job done. Thank you very much, Scott, for that email. I put down my phone, even though I have another one. Hang on. There we go. I also have an email from one Jim Bob Hairbob. He says, "Hi Barry, very sorry for the lack of emails. I've still been listening every week, and the show's been great. Well, thank you very much, sir. It's good to have you back. What are your favorite Christmas specials? TV shows, TV movies, anything? What has been your favorite made-for-Christmas TV things? Thanks, James." After this show, I'm probably going to bust out the Office Christmas special. Big fan of that. Still funny. Enjoy that. I think I gave away my copy of the Extras Christmas special, but that is also excellent, I thought. Probably the best thing about that entire show. Like most people, I am a sucker for Muppets Christmas Carol with Alfred. Very much enjoyed that. What else we got? Let me think. Most of the classic era Simpsons Christmas specials are phenomenal.
The first episode,
the Try and Save episode. That's right, Don Bronca. They've got a lot of great Christmas episodes. What else we got?
Well, I think they had a Christmas episode. It's American Dad had a really good Christmas special. I think it was 1 or 2 years ago. They had one recently, which was quite good, but not as good. But one, they had like this apocalyptic Christmas special and was, I mean, outstanding. Really, really good.
I think I remember there was like a Christmas episode of Scrubs that I really liked. It wasn't amazing. I just really liked it. What other good Christmas episodes have there been? Those are the main ones anyway. Cover the main ones. Yeah. Oh, Father Ted, of course. How could I neglect Father Ted?
A Christmassy Ted.
A Christmassy
The
Ted.
Brabs hit me in the eye.
But yeah. So thank you very much for your email, James. We greatly appreciate it.
Yes, well, I have emails as well. First one is from Scott McAvoy. He says, Merry Christmas, Joe. Merry Christmas, Scott. I was talking to some mates about how WWE creative works and started to think about how fast they blow through stories now. Do you think that the WWE would be better off if they split up creative teams into groups that worked on specific belts? Have one team on the world title, another on US, Intercontinental, another on tag, another on Divas. I think it would allow each team to concentrate on a story that may last more than a month and build real feuds again. Interested to know what you think, Scott. Well, Scott, I think the problem is, I think that some feuds do seem to last quite a while. It's just that they're awful. There's not really any, some John Cena and Del Rio will wrestle for 3 months, but there won't really be any story or any twist. It will just be a series of bland to okay matches. And I think the problem with the feuds is that them just don't work. And if they did, and if the guys were more over, maybe they'd last a little bit longer. As for the creative teams, I think they'll get filtered through Triple H and Vince and Stephanie anyway, so I don't know how much difference that would make. So, thanks for that, Scott.
I think one thing to note regarding splitting up the team into smaller parts is that they have quite a high turnover of staff.
Yeah.
So I think only splitting up the group into smaller parts would only cause more madness in terms of things being mixed up and continuity and things not making sense. The fact that there won't be such a big group of the consistent people. It'll be all newbies.
Okay, my other email is from Mr. James Harrod. He says, Hi Joe, sorry for the lack of emails in the past forever. Still been enjoying the show every week, he says. No evidence of that. If you were planning to steal Christmas a la the Grinch, how would you go about it? Thanks, James.
Which he probably might, for all we know.
I think, well, if you think about it, what do people enjoy?
Presents.
Shopping, getting presents,
Jesus.
eating the Christmas dinner, watching the Christmas TV.
Biggie pudding.
So what I'd do, I'd blow up the national grid. So they'd have no electric, they couldn't watch TV, they couldn't cook the dinner, they couldn't go out and buy anything. And then I would be in control of Christmas. So thanks for that, James.
The amount of times I got called the Grinch at work this week. Jesus.
Why? Do you act as curmudgeonly at work as you?
I don't
As we cartoonishly like to act like you do on this show.
I don't act. What happened was they were decorating the desk, so they're going around taking people's badges off them to photocopy their head, and they're putting up little elf, like they're getting elf drawings off the internet and putting people's heads on them. And I was like, no, don't.
I was gonna when you started the story, I was like, this is gonna be a story where I agree with them, isn't it?
What? I mean,
why did you object? It's an inoffensive little thing to just let them do if it amuses them.
I just wasn't. I don't want my head up on an elf body for all to see.
Yeah, but they're all doing it, so it's balanced.
They won. We won the competition anyway. It was a decorate the desk competition. We won, and I helped paint stuff. So come on.
Oh yeah, you're like Father Christmas, as they say in the UK.
Yeah, not the Grinch. And I never gave them my badge in the end. So
I know you didn't. That's why they called you the Grinch.
And we did Secret Santa, and I got a fiber optic lamp.
Ooh.
Which I'm very happy with. It's a battery powered one though, and I have no batteries, so I've not had a chance to put it on yet. And I got a grow your own Christmas tree, which I think I'll just give away to the charity shop because I already want it. I'm a little bit allergic, so I can't grow it anyway.
Oh yeah, you're allergic to Christmas trees.
Yeah. Grinch.
Like
It's like that is like a cartoonish Grinch thing, isn't it?
I'm allergic to Christmas trees. Yeah.
That's why the Grinch hated Christmas. I do like the lamp. I'm gonna try and get some batteries. I think my Xbox controller might still have some batteries in it, so I'll sort that out and put it on top of my telly or something. And yeah, I gave somebody a pretty cool little, do you know those little wooden 3D puzzles?
No.
No? Little, not quite like a Rubik's Cube, but it's a little wooden puzzle that you take apart, and it's really hard to sort of take apart and then harder to put back together.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Little desk puzzle. I got one of them, so that was pretty cool. My rule with Secret Santa is always get something, you know, cheap, but something that if I got, I'd be like, oh, that's pretty cool. Although I think I might have mentioned last year, I got someone this calendar, which had every day had a little puzzle or a little, you know, it was like a something to do every day calendar, and it was from my team leader, and she got it, and she just went, oh. And I was like, oh, I was disappointed because I put thought into it, and it was just cast aside callously. So never try.
That's the emails.
That's the emails. Wrestling news. So, AJ Styles going to CZW.
Yay.
Jesus. Are we looking forward to that then?
I guess.
Is he going to be rolling around in glass and stuff?
Yeah.
Good. Because as I understand it, that's what CWD is. But in our main story this week,
Breaking news.
I learned this like an hour before we went live. But Dave Bautista is set to return to WWE for WrestleMania season. I cannot wait.
Is he going to have a rematch with the Big Jelly Belly Man? So,
I hope
all I'm
not.
gonna see.
That would be a poor investment. What if he gets knocked out by a big fight? The brawl for all.
I hate you, Batista. I hate you too.
My worry
Why
is
is he the junkyard dog?
they're going to bring him in as a babyface, though.
Well, I'm thinking, who do they have? Feel and face and heel. Let me think.
Well, the thing is, I think they should bring him as a heel because they're a bit weaker. They've got Orton, and that's it pretty much. And then they got Punk, Bryan, and Cena on the face side.
Yeah, they got Punk, Bryan, Cena. Sheamus will probably be back. Ray is sort of alive, kind of. Undertaker. Maybe Rock, but probably not. Yeah, and they've got no heels. They've only got Orton, Triple H.
And of course, I've got the immortal Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, that guy too. Other than Orton and Triple H, you take a huge fall down the ladder, and then you've got Del Rio, who's kind of a non-factor, but I guess he's a bit better, kind of. So yeah, I think, there'll always be the temptation to bring him back as a face, but they'll probably bring him back as a face and then have him immediately turn on like Daniel Bryan or something.
I came up with two ideas, and I want to run these by you guys. One as a heel, and one as a babyface. First one is as a heel. Would be I'd quite like him to go against a face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Ooh.
In a sort of battle of the big guys. I think you could maybe, even just for a month, I'd quite like to see the dynamic of Batista with Paul Heyman.
Interesting. Yeah, but Batista, come on, heel Batista doesn't need Paul Heyman.
But no, I think as a combo, I think they'd be very, very entertaining.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I mean, ideally, what I prefer to see is Batista as a heel with his giant collar, polo shirt, sunglasses. My other idea was as a face. I get the feeling they're doing Undertaker Shield somehow at WrestleMania. because they've been, heavily pushing. They've been reminding people of Undertaker Shield. They brought out a video on their YouTube, which was the top moves of 2013, and the top 2 were the Shield beating up the Undertaker. The Shield through the bar, the spear through the barricade, and the powerbomb through the table. So an idea that I thought would be quite good is if Undertaker has to find tag team partners to beat the Shield at WrestleMania, so he goes back and takes his 2 hardest WrestleMania opponents, because he's fought Batista at WrestleMania. So maybe he could get Batista. I don't know. You can even do like Batista and Mark Henry or Jake Roberts. Oh my God! Something like that. Because Kane's the heel now, so you're not going to get Undertaker Kane. So maybe Undertaker with Batista and someone else? Possibly.
I would like, based on that one TV match they had that wasn't very long, but I would very much enjoy Batista and Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Although there's no reason for that to be a feud now, because they've got a million other directions they can and probably should go with Daniel Bryan, whether it's him beating Triple H or him winning the title. I feel like he really needs to do one of those things at WrestleMania to kind of redeem himself.
Well, I get the feeling that they're doing a 3-way at the Royal Rumble with Orton, Cena, and Bryan. Which is weird because I don't really like that idea. Because that takes 2 guys out of the Royal Rumble instead of just the one challenger, unless they just have to be in the Royal Rumble anyway. I quite like to see Bryan in the Rumble. I think that'd be exciting.
Well, they've done the thing in recent years where guys have matches on the undercard and then they go in the Rumble.
Yeah, but now that they have only got the one main event match, maybe they'll need them more to fill up the undercard. Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited about this Batista news. I've been waiting for years, going, why do they not try and get Batista back? Maybe they have been, maybe just...
Oh, they have been. He hasn't been interested.
There you go.
Apparently he's not a fan of the PG stuff, and he's also got he has his issues with the his whole movie career being ongoing and not really needing to go back,
Yeah.
But I think Guardians of the Galaxy is like wrapped up, and his run will coincide with plugging that. So
yeah, I really like the idea of bringing him back. Batista, good lad, and he's sort of the forgotten star now.
Yeah,
because they always talk about Orton, Cena, and their rise. But
except there totally really isn't one.
Yeah, no. At the time, it was Cena and Batista was the parallel rise. They both started in 2002 on SmackDown.
And they had better matches together than Cena.
Yeah, and they both won their world titles at WrestleMania 21.
Except for the duct tape one.
Are you serious? Duck Dynasty! Are you serious? Topical. I'm very happy to have Batista back. How wacky will his hair be when he comes back, though? Because he said he's looked quite wacky lately. And will he look the same? Because he's sort of slimmed up considerably since last
slimmed up or slimmed
down? Cross.
I guess both.
Yeah, I mean, he's not quite as bulky. At least when we saw him at his MMA fight, he's not quite as bulky as he was in WWE.
No.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm very, very happy that he's coming back. It'll be interesting to see what direction they take. Babyface or heel. Batista's good. Preferably heel, but we'll see. So that's our main story. I guess he'll be coming back at the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Fingers crossed. Apparently Davey Richards made a little comment at a PWG show where he mentioned that this will be his last weekend with the promotion as he is going to Orlando. And then he said, "Oh, but I didn't say where." So he's probably going to some indie promotion in Orlando. That's not
Orlando Championship Fights with a Z to face their cruiserweight champion Johnny Flips.
The Z is silent.
But yeah. Apparently his match on NXT aired this week, but I didn't have time to watch it.
Yeah, I saw it.
Any good?
Yeah. How did he beat this wicked kick from Victor in it's the Ascension match. Is the one I saw anyway.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
And it was good. It was very good. The Philbin and Cahill names are so dumb though.
Yeah,
and I know
pretty
it's a
horrible.
cliche to just complain about the dumb NXT names, but Philbin and Cahill, I mean, really do not roll off the tongue. Like Edwards and Richards, Dave Richards and Eddie Edwards. I mean, surely they can just get. If I was Davey Richards, right, and I was going to WWE, at this stage I would just sign over the rights to the Dave Richards name. Honestly.
Yeah, but then if and when he inevitably gets canned, he'd have to be like Wesley Richards or whatever his real name is on the Indies, and it's like he spent his entire career building up that name,
Yeah, but what's the point of spending your indie career building up a name to then go on and be Johnny Philbin or whatever?
Well, because it doesn't matter, because your indie name means nothing to the WWE audience anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like this goofy Philbin name. I think it's a death warrant already for the old career boo.
Yeah. Well, we don't even know where he's going yet, so time will tell.
Yeah, he might have an even worse TNA name.
Yeah. Well, they'd probably just let him be fucking Davey Richards.
Yeah.
Well, Desmond Wolf.
And Desmond Wolf.
The wolf is loose. What was this stupid catchphrase you used to say?
Hungry like the wolf.
It was something so stupid. He could be Frederick Fox.
No, then they'd make him come out to what does the fox say? And team him with Alicia Fox. And there's chemistry.
That'd be like the guy I know getting married to the 6-foot woman.
Yeah.
Davey Richards comes out on Alicia Fox's shoulders, dancing to the room.
Oh, so yeah, Davey Richards, interesting. I guess we'll find out sooner rather than later where he is going.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to TNA. I think.
Why would anyone go to TNA?
He strikes me as the type of guy who would look down. In fact, I'm pretty sure he has in the past looked down his nose at them, so whatever.
Yeah.
What are the news we got here? Court Bauer of MLW fame is now a producer of some kind in Ring of Honor. Not a creative guy, but some kind of behind the scenes things.
Can I just say, by the way, I'm disappointed here because I bought a big bag of Dolly Mix and I was very happy that I found some Dolly Mix, and it's all brown ones. It's
What the fuck is Dolly Mix?
What Dolly Mix? Those sweets.
Yeah, I'm assuming they're sweets. Yes, but what are they? I don't know what they are.
I'll send you a little photo.
Oh, I thought you were going to send me some.
Yeah, so much fun. But I found them and I was like, oh, Dolly Mix, I've not seen them in ages. And then I got them, and it's like it's like 80% brown.
Well, what's wrong with that?
They're the worst
Oh,
ones.
Dolly. Okay, yeah. Well, take what you can get.
It's just disappointing as well. So what are we
Anyway,
talking
other
about?
news. What's his face? Court Bauer. Ring
Oh
of
yeah,
Honor.
to Ring of Honor. Whatever.
I don't know. He's trying. I don't know.
Is that even news?
I guess. I mean, look, this is a put your money where your mouth is situation. It's like Lagana. Lagana went to TNA and they haven't exactly set the world on fire.
That's true.
And he was Mr. I can change the world, And I guess Court Bauer kind of is. I mean, I don't want to say Court Bauer is arrogant because I don't think he is, but he is one of those people who he has a podcast and he used to work in creative and he has all these theories about, well, why don't they do this?
That's true.
So, money where your mouth is situation.
That's true.
I'm sure he'll do fine. He's not in creative though, so it's not like he's going to change the world. But it's kind of interesting. MLW and ROH used to have a feud back in the day when MLW was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, good for him. I'm sure he'll do well. What else we got? It kind of came out just like shortly after we finished the show last week, so it's kind of done and dusted at this stage. But AJ Lee and Michelle Beadle, who apparently is some kind of ESPN person, had something of a blow up last week at the Tribute to the Troops show, where Michelle Beadle was chatting to longtime friend CM Punk, who is currently dating AJ Lee, and she went a little bit loco at her for there's a number of different stories out there, but regardless, they had a shouting match, and apparently WWE was very unhappy, but not unhappy enough to take the title off her, so whatever. Michelle Beadle tweeted pretty candidly about it, but whether or not you can take her side of the story, I don't know. She just said that something to the effect of she wasn't going to talk about it anymore after this, so...
Oh well. And then there was a picture going around the old locker room, apparently, which is quite funny.
There was this picture that I think someone drew and posted on like Reddit or Tumblr or somewhere of everyone has seen or most people I imagine have seen the clip of AJ meeting Lita when she was like 10. There's this clip from just like some WWE video package back in 2001 where AJ goes to a signing and she's crying and blah blah blah, and they've actually shown it in recent years since AJ's ascension. And so basically someone did a doodle of that, and next to it they did a doodle of CM Punk and AJ in the act of lovemaking, and she is asking to be called a different name, and this is playing off the fact that Lita and CM Punk used to date, and that's the joke, and apparently this got into someone's hands in the WWE office, and that's now doing the rounds, and that is probably a bit awkward.
Yep.
It's pretty funny.
It is pretty funny. What other news we got? As I said, that news has kind of died down ever since it happened, because that was like a week ago at this stage.
Anyone die or anything?
No.
Oh, okay.
Let me think.
I think that's pretty much it.
I don't think there was any other major news. WWE, they taped a week of Raw and SmackDown for next week. Because it's Christmas and stuff, so they're not actually on the road. So they've got like all of Christmas week off, basically.
That's good.
Yeah, good for them.
It's Christmas.
Yeah. So I guess from there we can kind of segue into TLC.
Well, I have a quiz.
Oh!
The quiz is back.
The quiz is back.
What is that gimmick?
The quiz in the CFP.
Just not countdown, is it? JP, help me here.
It's the format I used once before, where I will give you clues as to the identity of a...
Oh god, I was terrible at this. Okay, let me get my thinking cap on here.
How it works, I give you 4 clues as to the identity of a person. Each is kind of more obvious as they go along. If you get it off the first one, you get 4 points. After the second one, 3, 2 points, 1 point, etc.
Cool.
And whoever gets most points at the end wins. Okay. So, first person. You both get 1 guess after each clue.
Okay.
I once defeated the Rock and Roll Express to become a Smoky Mountain Wrestling Tag Team Champion.
I'll go first. Lance Storm.
Not Lance Storm. All John, I guess.
God. Defeated the Rock and Roll Express. It must be a while ago then. No, I don't know yet.
Okay.
Pass.
Next clue. I've been half of the Wrestling Observer's Worst Feud of the Year award on 7 occasions.
Holy God.
Kane.
That is correct, Barry.
Yeah, that was
3
that was a good
points.
way. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Next
I did not know he was in
was-
Smoky Mountain.
Yeah, he was tag team champion there. 95, I think, something like
With who?
that. Else no.
What a winning team. Kane 20 years ago, greener than he is today.
Yeah, next clue. I was penultimate elimination in the 1997 Royal Rumble. That was when he was fake Diesel. And final clue. I was born in Madrid, 1967.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2. Paul can guess first.
Okay.
I was born in Mexico City in 1954.
In Mexico City in 1954.
Damn.
Which would make him what now? 60... 54. Hang on, 69? Is that right?
Yeah.
Or 59?
No, 69.
Okay, I think Mexico City in 69. Mil Mascaras?
It's not Mil Mascaras. Barry, any idea?
Dos Caras.
No. Second clue. I made my WWF debut in 1990, but only lasted a few weeks before my gimmick was shelved.
Oh.
1990. Mexico City. 1990. God, this is a tough one. Let me think. Who would have debuted in around 1990? God. No idea. No, I'll pass again. I don't know.
Barry?
Conan.
No.
No.
In 1995, I wrestled Too Cold Scorpio for the ECW television title.
In Mexico.
Mexico.
Is...
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably wrong, though. Is it Raven?
Raven was born in Mexico City, really? No, it's not Raven.
And he's 70.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I forgot about that clue.
Barry, should I guess?
Oh, God. I shouldn't have mocked him because I have absolutely no idea. Tito Santana?
No. Okay, final
clue.
for 1 point.
Yeah.
I currently work as a Spanish color commentator for TNA.
Oh, I know him.
Oh, Hector Guerrero.
That is correct. 1.4.
Hey! Oh yeah, Gobbledygooker, of course.
Yeah, because the Gobbledygooker.
Sake.
Okay, third.
That was a tough one, though. That was a tough
That
one.
was a tough one.
Okay,
Yeah.
3-1.
Okay, third person. I made my debut in 1982 for Midwest Championship Wrestling.
1982. Fuck it. Undertaker?
No. Paul?
Let's go, Scott Hall.
No. Okay, next clue. After an unsuccessful stint in a WWF tag team, I made my name in ECW.
Would this be one Dean Douglas?
No, it's not.
Oh, damn.
Okay, hang on. Unsuccessful stint in a WWF tag team. Made my name ECW. Let me see, who made their name ECW after bringing WWF in a tag team? God. It wouldn't be Van Dam, wouldn't be Taz, wouldn't be Simple. Made my name ECW. God, and they made their debut in 82. Jesus. God. I'm trying to think of someone who... Okay, if they made their debut, they would probably be around 20 years older than John Cena, so they'd probably be in their mid-50s now. So in the heyday of ECW, they probably would have been in their late 30s, early 40s. Ah, God. Oh, this is a really tough one, because so many of them are like, was he in WWF in a tag team? Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. An unsuccessful stint in a tag team. God. Let's go for let's go for Raven again.
No, it wasn't Raven.
I know he was in WWF briefly before he...
Yeah, he was Johnny Polo. Okay. Third clue. I was one of the trainers on the original Tough Enough.
Ugh.
Barry.
The original Tough Enough. Oh.
I was gonna guess this before I went with Raven, but I was so unsure.
I can remember who the original trainers were, so it's just a case of picking one. Al Snow.
That is correct, Barry.
Yeah, I was thinking Al Snow, but couldn't
You
remember
already
him.
mentioned him earlier.
I know. Well, I knew he was a singles WWF, but I couldn't think of him in a tag team.
He was in the New Rockers with Marty Jannetty.
Of course he was. Jesus.
Leif Cassidy.
Yeah.
Final clue was, I am best known for using a mannequin's head as a weapon.
Yeah. Oh, I should have got that. Well, that means Barry wins then.
5-1. No, if you get it after the first one, you're fine.
Okay. Give it to me, Joe.
Okay, Paul goes first.
Is it Pedro Morales?
No.
No,
I am a third generation wrestler.
Wow. I got a few to pick from here. Okay, let me think. If this is clue number 1, it's not going to be, Randy Orton or The Rock.
Well, there's only so many it can be, so it could be.
A third generation wrestler. Let me think now. I'm trying to think of this is a little bit like Pointless now. And third generation wrestlers has just come up, and I'm going to all right, which is the one that the fewest people would say or know? Okay, because they went through I'm going to go for my Pointless answer. Ted DiBiase Jr.
No, that isn't correct.
Ah,
Stab in the dark.
Third generation, I would say The Rock.
No. Second clue. I made my WWE debut in the 2013 Royal Rumble.
oh my God! Let me think.
Oh my God, I know it. Yeah.
I don't know yet. Hang on. The 2013 Royal Rumble made their debut. Who made their debut in the 2013 Royal Rumble?
Yeah, this is the type of thing I would know and remember.
Jesus. Who was in the Royal Rumble this year? I can think of one person who I think had their first match in a row, but I don't know that they're a third generation.
What?
Is it? Was that 2013 or am I thinking of 2012? I might be at the wrong Royal Rumble here. Is it Karma?
No.
What Rumble was that?
Third generation?
I don't know.
wrestler?
I said I don't know.
It would be one Mr. Beaufree Dallas.
Oh, for God's sake!
That is correct.
He doesn't even
Barry.
exist. He's not even a wrestler. That's not fair.
The other clues were, my father and uncle were a tag team that held the WWF tag team.
Wyndham, yeah.
which is
The Rotundas.
US Express.
My brother is a fat man.
Well, my brother. The final clue is my brother is Bray Wyatt. So yes, you're right.
Luke Harper, is it?
Yes. So Barry wins 8
I'm no
points to
good
1.
at that one. I'm no good.
8
I'm not
points
good.
to 1.
Yeah. Which one did I even get again? What was the second one?
Guerrero.
Oh yeah, Hector Guerrero.
There was also actually something all four had a theme between all four. If you can guess it.
Hang on. Al Snow, Hector Guerrero,
But they all suck.
Bo Dallas. And who was the first one?
Kane.
Okay.
They all
Okay.
suck.
Kane, Bo Dallas, Hector Guerrero, and who was the other one?
Al Snow.
Al Snow. I was going to say they're all brothers, but Al Snow isn't. Or they all had more famous quote-unquote relatives who were wrestlers.
No, I have no clue.
Hang on, I want to get this. This is a good little riddle. Bo Dallas. I'm going to get my notepad out here.
This is better than the quiz.
Notepad.
This is the real quiz. This
you
is
get-
the real
you get-
quiz.
You get 10 points if you get this, so you win.
Hector Guerrero, Kane, Al Snow, and Bo Dallas. What is the connection? Well, Hector Guerrero debuted at Survivor Series 1990, which was the Undertaker's debut. And Undertaker is the brother of Kane, who wore a sort of false head in a way. He wore a mask. A false head was used by Al Snow, who wrestled in what generally were considered garbage matches, and Bo Dallas is a garbage wrestler. So there you go. There's your connection.
The theme is Christmas.
In what
Oh my
way?
Snow.
Cane, Candy Cane, Snow, Snow. bow, as in what you wrap a present with, or what you put on a present, and Hector Guerrero, who was the gobbledygooker.
A turkey.
What? No!
The bow.
Kane!
Candy cane.
Bow.
Bow! Oh.
Those are great.
Oh my god.
Kane.
Bow.
At least snow works.
Who else could you have come up with for Christmas?
Austin, he beat up fucking Santa that one time.
Yeah, but his name isn't Christmas.
Oh, sorry. Oh, so it doesn't work. I apologize, yeah.
Yeah, it has to be like Al Snow.
Oh, and Jimmy Christ Christmas from Smoky Mountain.
Well, I very much enjoy that. Very good. Very
good stuff. God, we've a pay per view to talk about, yeah.
Go on. TLC.
Yep.
What do we make of it? 'Cause I thought it was terrible.
I thought it was pretty mediocre.
not
Veering towards bad.
I'd say there was one good match on the show, which was the tag match, and I really didn't like anything else on it.
What was the tag match? Oh, the 4-way. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree. Yeah. Sort of largely solid, other than the tag match, which is really good. Let me get the card up here. But yeah, main event. The interesting thing was that they kept trying to hype it up as the most important match, sort of in 50 years, basically.
Yeah.
First of all, it didn't feel like that during the match, and second of all, they didn't even spring for pyro.
No.
I thought it was a bit of a letdown.
Yeah.
But
I thought the main event was so boring.
yeah, they just can't have a good match together. Well, they have, but very rarely can they have a good match together. Cena and Orton.
Yeah, and Cena botching the very final spot in the match. Ooh, no good.
Let me see. Here. Trying to find the god.
Oh, I have the card here. Fandango beat Dolph Ziggler in the kickoff.
Oh, yeah.
Poor Dolph.
Yeah.
Watch that.
In 4 minutes, he beat Dolph.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Is I watched that, but gee, that was so nothing.
It's sad how Ziggler. We've spoken about it 100 times, but he main evented TLC last year, beating John Cena in the main event, and now he was beaten by Fandango in the kickoff. He'll be dancing backstage with fucking Santino and Flash Funk at WrestleMania, probably.
Sounds good.
But yeah, probably be the best thing on that show, for honest, apart from the return of Batista.
Hulk Hogan winning the WWE title.
I think they'll do what they did at WrestleMania 9, where they'll have the title match, and then Hulk Hogan go, "No, brother, we're having another one now."
I'll fight whoever wins, the Jap or anyone else, brother.
Oh god, it'll be Daniel Bryan. It'll be Daniel Bryan against whoever the champion is, Batista, and Daniel Bryan will valiantly lose. Hulk Hogan, well, brother, he'll take an hour to come down to the ring and then win the belt. Oh god, what a joy that would be. CM Punk beat the Shield in a 3-on-1 handicap match. I'd actually predicted that the Shield were going to win, and that Daniel Bryan would beat the Wyatts, so I got that backwards. The Shield lost to their own incompetence when Roman Reigns hurt his eye, taking a crazy bump over the announce table, and then ended up spearing Dean Ambrose by mistake. Although that was more to do with CM Punk jumping out of the way and less to do with him having an eye injury. And CM Punk got the win and ran away. So there you go. So what did this accomplish, really? This 3-on-1 handicap match?
Descent.
Yeah, Dissension. They're doing it super slow. I guess it's going to blow up at the Rumble. I expect like a tease or two in the next 2 weeks. You know, they're playing it slow.
They are. But at the same time, there's a difference between playing slow and having a tease 1 week and no tease at all the next week.
Yeah, I guess.
I think
They
these have to
didn't
be
even
super
mention it, really.
Yeah.
Well, the commentators did, but they didn't. The Shield guys.
AJ Lee beat Natalia in a Divas Championship defense.
Yeah, I thought this was good.
Yeah.
It's just everything was alight online when this happened because of the potential for AJ to lose via backstage heat rather than, people just didn't like the idea of her losing at all, really. But the idea that she'd lose because of the story with What's Her Face had people upset. Yeah.
I'd quite like to see her in a match with Jeremy Beadle as a little claw hand.
Yeah.
If he wasn't dead, I mean.
Either way.
It's a hidden camera over there. So yeah, she beat Natalia. Yeah, it was a very good women's match. I think the problem with the women's matches is that we're used to such shite that when a match is pretty good, I think people tend to overrate it a little bit.
Yeah.
That being said, this was good. It was good.
Someone on Twitter told me it was one of the best ever, apparently.
Yeah, but that's because it maybe it was, but that's because for years we've had Jacqueline against Ivory, and that sort of ilk. AJ can wrestle, Natalia can wrestle, so that's good. Big E Langston beat Sandow in a 6-minute nothing match. Really wasn't paying attention to this one. I don't remember what I was doing. I think it was I watched this at work, so I was just sort of half screen on this, half screen on Facebook or whatever. So I was like, wasn't paying attention much to this match because I knew that the Sandow wasn't going to win.
Yeah, it wasn't much. It was okay.
We then had the best match on the show, Cody Rhodes and Goldust. This actually turned out to be a elimination match.
Yeah, I wasn't sure going in what it was, but yeah.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes and Goldust defeating Ryback and Curtis Axel, the Real Americans, and Big Show and Rey Mysterio. And it was really good. I think maybe it would have been a little better without Ryback and Axel if maybe you had the Usos in there. Because the other 3 tag teams are Big Show and Rey Mysterio are barely a tag team, but they can go. Real Americans are very good, and Cody Rhodes and Goldust are extremely good. Definitely the strongest tag division's been for a while, both in terms of the push and the actual talent in there.
Yeah, definitely.
Goldust just never ceases to amaze me. He's wrestling like he's, Cody Rhodes' age. Like there isn't this feeling of Cody Rhodes carrying the older, fatter, slower brother. Goldust can go. Jesus, what's he on? Give me some of the pills he's taking.
No, but he's great. I'm a big fan. Yeah, Goldust is doing awesome.
Yeah, so they won with.
He pinned Ryback clean.
Yeah.
Roll up.
Yeah, who by the way,
of course they did.
Ryback changed his Twitter account to Ryan Reeves. It's weird.
It's Ryback's stupid name.
Well, he deleted all his tweets as well, which apparently he's done before, but a little bit odd. R-Truth defeated Brodus Clay via roll-up when Brodus was distracted by the women and Tensai leaving him, essentially.
Oh, man, fuck this feud. This is so stupid.
Yeah.
I'm not even opposed to the idea of Brodus being a heel, but everything else about this is stupid. What a waste of Xavier Woods. And I don't even think he's anything amazing, but not a very good debut for him.
Kofi Kingston defeated The Miz.
Oh, fuck this feud as well.
For the 8,000th time, so we'll skip that. And the Wyatts beat Daniel Bryan in a 3-on-1 handicap match.
I really like this match.
Which it seems like it's already been forgotten about, though. It seems like the whole Wyatt-Bryan feud has already sort of been for nothing, in a way. Because to me, it seems like they're heading towards Orton, Cena, Bryan. At least from watching Raw, that seems like the
from
direction
Raw,
they're going.
that was the indication, yeah.
Again, this was it was nothing really. He did the crab walk again, which I'm a big fan of. Bray Wyatt, I mean, not Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, it's rubbish.
It's not rubbish.
It's the goat walk, Michael. It's the goat walk.
What's the point of it?
Because it's creepy.
No, it's not. It's just stupid.
Nah, it's good. Good, if anything.
It is, yeah, I like it.
No, Wyatt. It's Wyatt, his name.
Oh, tell me funny that way.
Way Bryant.
That was great, yeah. By the way, on the pre-show, that was where they did the Miz Kofi thing. That was for the sake of history. I will also note that was a no DQ match. It was also a no interest match, baby.
And then the main event, Randy Orton defeated John Cena in a dull TLC match, where at the end John Cena fell off and landed not through a table, but just on the mat with his head sort of resting against the table.
Just landing on his neck.
He, not good. And the match itself was like, it wasn't that it's extremely tame. Why it was bad? Because I've seen, a match doesn't need to rely on violence for it to be exciting or interesting. But this was just really boring. I just didn't like it at all. John Cena had some nice new beige pants on as well.
Were they new?
Yeah, he's not wearing the jorts.
No.
I think he sort of switches back and forth nowadays. And Randy Orton won both the belts. And I can't remember a single other spot. Oh, he handcuffed Cena to the ropes. And Cena did the old take the turnbuckle off.
Yeah.
Which would be cool if we've not seen that spot done already, like 4 times. Like, I know they do it sparingly, but I've seen them take the turnbuckle, like, screw it off. It must be like five times now in the last like 5 years. You know? So I mean, it didn't hit me as so clever when I was like, oh, they're doing that now. Okay. Then on the other hand, I guess it's better than the old Cena is so strong he breaks out.
Yeah, I was like, please don't do the handcuff break thing, because that is such a annoying cliche.
So there you go. That was TLC. Not a good show. Definitely probably the worst TLC pay-per-view since they started doing the event.
Possibly, yeah. I have to go back and watch them. There've been some good ones.
Do you remember when the first TLC was? Which year was it in?
09.
It was 09. Your memory is outstanding, Barry. I would honestly have no idea when the first one was. I just looked it up out of interest.
Well, 09 was just the year when they brought in all those stupid gimmicky things. So.
Well, there you go. I didn't know that. So yeah, that was the pay-per-view. So we then moved on to Raw, which I just
don't
watched
remember much about.
in the last moments before we did the show. What happened on Raw basically was Orton came out, and again, I'm not going to cover the show, just some main points. Orton is now carrying 2 belts around, but what he does when he does his promos, he just has one on his shoulder and then one on top of that on his shoulder, so he just looks like he has 1 belt, which I would not advise him to do. I'd advise him to put 1 on each shoulder to make himself look more important. He basically was challenged by John Cena to put up or shut up after being called stupid, I think, by John Cena at one stage. And then Cena said, I don't want to fight you. I want you to fight Daniel Bryan, which made no sense to me. Cena was saying stuff like, I do want to be the WWE champion, but last week I said if I won the belt, I'd give Daniel Bryan a shot. I was like, what does that have to do with anything? Because you didn't win the belt. So that, I don't understand the motivation for having Daniel Bryan against Randy Orton at the best of John Cena. I didn't get it. I didn't understand why that was happening.
Yeah, this whole John Cena speaking up for Daniel Bryan thing is not great, at least.
And so anyway, what they did was Randy Orton was like, that's not happening. And then Stephanie and Triple H were like, well, we listened to the WWE Universe, so we're doing the match. And I was like, are you heels or baby faces? I mean, it's such a mess. It was such a mess of a segment. People acting out of character. Daniel Bryan just standing there and waving like such a geek when John Cena is like, Daniel Bryan's a tough guy and a good wrestler. I was like, why didn't Daniel Bryan's grab a microphone instead of John Cena and go, you know what, I want to fight you tonight, Randy Orton, because you screwed me. Why does John Cena have to give him the old pity rub? I mean, it's...
We've all had a few of them.
Oh, loudy. So they ended up doing Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton anyway, and it was an excellent match.
Yeah.
And then they finished with a low blow DQ,
Mhm.
and I loved it. And I normally hate this kind of finish, but they did it perfectly at the perfect time, so I could have no complaints about it. I really don't like DQs on pay-per-views, because when people pay money to see matches, especially in the main matches, that's a bit of a cop-out. But the story here was that Randy Orton knew that he couldn't beat Daniel Bryan, and he was about to lose, so in an act of desperation, he just gave him a low blow. And it worked very well. And Orton even had a look in his eyes, like, yeah. And he was sort of mouthing off to him, going like, "I'm the face of WWE, not you," even though he had just cheated, which is such a great heel thing, I thought. I thought Randy Orton was good on the show. I thought he was doing less of the "my name is Randy Orton," like slow, methodical, dull Randy Orton. I think he was a bit more energetic than he normally was, so that sort of rubbed off onto the viewer. And then Cena ran out, and he brawled a bit with Orton, and for the show to obviously out with that. I get the feeling that it was sort of a half-effort show, given that they had to write the 4 shows that they taped this week. A lot of the stuff either felt sort of half-baked or not properly thought through. They had the Brodus Clay thing they continued doing, where Brodus attacked Tensai, and Tensai ended up getting thrown into the stairs and destroyed, basically. And Brodus was walking up the ramp after being attacked by R-Truth and Xavier Woods, who came to the assistance of Tensai. And as Tensai is lying on the floor, unconscious, Xavier Woods and R-Truth just get the Funkadactyls in the ring and start dancing. It was so weird, because they didn't check on Tensai, and Tensai wasn't confirmed to be like alive. They were like, "Girl, get in this ring and dance," and then they played the music and they danced.
Wait a second now, hoes, don't be leaving.
Get them asses over here, girl. And just a really weird, like, it was not like it was a continuity error, but it was just like a little weird, like, why are they not helping the down the babyface? Why are they just dancing like fools? So that was a bit weird. What else has been going on? I think there's much else to report from it. I mean, that was the main storyline through the. Of course, we had CM Punk and Shawn Michaels had a little segment together where Michaels was sort of subtly acting the heel again after he super kicked CM Punk on the previous week's Raw. And he said, it hurt me worse than it hurt you to super kick you. And Punk was like, "Well, it actually hurt me quite a lot." And Shawn went, "Well, it hurts me to do this." And he brought out the Shield. I don't think they quite know what they're doing with Shawn Michaels, because, I mean, they're having him act the heel, but not in such an overt way that the crowd are really going to hate him, because he's still, the showstopper Shawn Michaels. So, I mean, I don't know quite what they're doing, or even if they have any plans going forward with Shawn Michaels. Because it's like they're not committing to a proper character for him or a proper storyline. It's like he's just coming in for bits and pieces and never really committing either way to like being a full-on heel or a full-on face. I think that's pretty much all I can remember from that. I mean, that's all the important stuff.
The Shawn Michaels thing was the only other thing of note. It was okay. As we said, they taped next week's show. It looks like a taped show in every way too. It's kind of missable. Christmas week show. They're not going to do anything major. Solid show. I love that main event. And like you said, I really enjoyed the finish within the context of what they were going for. It's kind of annoying sometimes, but the story they were telling were good. It's like, look, we got a match that awesome for free on TV. We can accept that finish as a storytelling device. I was convinced.
There's one thing that I would have liked to see, and it's not really a criticism, it's a bit of a nitpick. But the low blow, the way they did it, I would have almost preferred it if it was like, whilst Bryan is mid-kick, if Orton just hit him with a straight, like, hook to the nuts, rather than it being, he ducks under and does, like, the China forearm between the legs. sort of like it's just while Brian's leg is coming around, or just hits him with a straight shot to the balls. I think that would have been sort of like that more desperation, like it just hits like a jab to the groin. I think that would have maybe been a little bit more effective visually, but I still thought it was great. I thought it was a great finish.
Mm-hmm.
So that was Raw.
That was Raw. So I watched Impact this week for the first time in quite some time.
Yeah.
I have to say it was a solid show. It was their Final Resolution faux pay-per-view. Pay-per-view that aired on TV basically. Yeah. And let me see, what did we get? Kurt Angle and Bobby Roode had a 2 out of 3 falls match. Mm-hmm. It was good. It was not incredible. Those guys are really good, but I feel like they never really have a killer match. Bobby Roode low-blowed Kurt Angle for the first fall. Angle got the second fall with the Angle Slam, and then Bobby Roode got the ropes for the third fall. So like Bobby Roode's beaten him like so many times at this stage. Like they're really hammering home that he's the better man and such. They have another match yet to come, I think, that's already been taped. We got the results of Feast and or Fired.
I saw it,
which was not done out on the stage in front of the people. It was done in the interrogation room from the Bill. Basically, when he got his briefcase, Gunner basically kind of did the Sandow Cody thing where he snatched it from the clutches of his own tag team partner, James Storm, and there is dissension there. And one thing I did think was very good. So basically, they had these guys in this interrogation room, and Dixie was there, and JB was there.
They had dramatic music.
They had dramatic music playing, which was cheesy, but it wasn't terrible. It was like whatever. And so they were interviewing people and what have you, and Zima Ion, Gunner, Ethan Carter, and Chavo got briefcases. So Ion opens his, and he got an X Division title shot. Status quo, typical. So he got that. He is now DJ Zima Ion, by the way, and he's working with the Bromans.
Were the Bromans on this show?
They were not, and it was weird because you think they would have been there with Ion because Storm was there with Gunner for the duration of that thing. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so Zima Ion gets his X Division title shot. He's all happy and he leaves, and they go to Gunner. And they're like, and JB is like, so are you guys on the same page? And they're like, yeah, of course. Look, business is business. We got to do this thing. It's competitive. It was every man for himself. We're cool. And then Gunner opens his briefcase, and it's a world title shot. And he flips his shit. He's like, yes, I finally got what I deserved. And all of a sudden, even though they said they were on the same page, James Storm was looking mighty salty because they were on the same page. Maybe he was thinking this guy would get the world tag team title shot, and they'd be on the same page. But he got a world title shot. So Gunner stole a world title shot from him, basically. That whole thing was pretty nicely done. I don't really give a shit about this team. I think it was a very weird pairing to begin with. When they won the tag title, like in their first match, I was like, that was stupid. But James Storm's reaction was good, and the idea of Gunner with a world title shot coming his way is very wacky to me, but whatever. Spoilers, I think they have a match for the briefcase at the next live show. I think they're doing... Remember the Genesis show we discussed isn't a pay-per-view? Mm-hmm. It's going to be one of their free pay-per-view television things. I think that's going to be live. Live television. So they've taped like fucking 6 weeks between then and now. So I think they're having a match for the briefcase on that show, Storm and Gunner. So anyway, this boiled down to Ethan Carter and Chavo. And so before they can open their briefcases, in walks Sting.
He sort of runs in dramatically.
Sting is annoyed because Chavo Guerrero is a hard-working legend of the business, and they mentioned several times he was a Guerrero, so that you know he's a Guerrero because he's a Guerrero.
Who's this?
Chavo Guerrero.
Oh.
And Sting is like, and Ethan Carter has had everything handed to him, and I was like, hang on, that might be true. Okay, and it is true for this character, but it was almost like he was guilt-tripping him for the fact that Chavo might get fired and Carter might get a title shot prior to the reveal of who had what. And also, that is the nature of the match. It's not It's not heel antics if Carter happens to get a title shot and Chavo happens to get fired. That's just the nature of the silly briefcase match they do.
Yeah.
So anyway, Sting was ranting and raving, and basically what he did was, they're doing this gimmick where Sting wants to get his hands on Carter, but he avoided it every turn. So Sting comes in and says, before you open that briefcase, how about this? If you fight me, I will accept the destiny of whatever is in this briefcase. So if you're worried that you might be fired, and they did a couple of skits earlier in the night where he was trying to get Dixie to guarantee his safety, and Dixie was like, I can't do that. Some legal firm sorts out the briefcases, like deal or no deal, we don't know what's in there. Edmonds came in and was like, yeah, I can verify that. I have a picture of Jeff Hardy on my wrist. Look at it. But yeah. So basically, Ethan Carter was all paranoid that he might get fired. And Sting was like, okay, I will take the brunt of whatever is in that briefcase if you wrestle me. And Ethan Carter was like, no. And he opened the briefcase and he got the World Tag Title shot and Chavo got fired. This was incredibly wacky because, as I said, A, Sting was trying to make this out like this was a terrible injustice, even though it was Chavo's own fault for entering the match. And B, Sting and Ethan Carter is kind of weird to me because Ethan Carter is played as he's still played as a kind of comedy character way, whereas Sting is coming in trying to be main event Sting and trying to, make this seem like a really intense feud.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, it's an interesting dynamic. I like the idea of I want to fight you at any cost.
I thought there might have been an idea that they actually fixed the briefcases and maybe Sting knew it, but they didn't say that sort of definitely.
Yeah, maybe. It's like a 2010 thing where Sting's dropping all these hints. He's like, Dixie's the man who organized these briefcases. What color hat did he have on? I'm not saying I know something, but
maybe the fact that he was willing to swap kind of indicated that he knew it was something right.
Yeah.
The briefcase.
Um,
I like if Chavo opened his and there was just a lunchbox in it. He's like, what? Where's the real one? And there's a man in just some accountancy firm somewhere opens his. Like,
fired? Well, fuck these people, I'm torching this place.
I need to stop telling my wife to do my lunch for me. Send me messages.
But yeah, so that was that. It was fine. It was amusing for what it was. So there you go. Before we get to the main event, what else happened on the undercard? They opened with a Magnus promo. Basically, they referenced 10-10-10, and they were like, last week, Jeff Hardy was seen having drinks with Dixie Carter, our shenanigans afoot, and that was kind of the theme of the show. They had people coming up to Jeff Hardy being like, don't pull any shit. The only other thing was that Madison Rayne had a tag match. She's back.
Mm-hmm.
You would not know she had a baby. She is exactly as skinny as she always was. It's pretty crazy. And she won her and ODB against Lady Tapa and Gail Kim. So Madison Rayne's a face now. She looks really good. Good for her. New mommy.
Killer Queen.
So then we had the main event, which was Magnus versus Jeff Hardy in a tournament final match for the TNA World Heavyweight title. Jeff Hardy came out and spoke about what happened at Bound for Glory and how that culminated at Victory Road 2011, and he wouldn't go down that dark path again, and there you go. So this was a Dixieland match, okay?
Yeah.
And what that means is basically it was a ladder match. But the belt was hanging above the entrance ramp, and that's where the ladder was. And the ring had a cage around it. So basically, this is like something I would do with my action figures when I was a kid. It was a cage ladder match where the door was locked, so you couldn't go out the door. So you had to climb over the top of the cage, walk up the ramp, climb the ladder, and get the title from the top of the ladder on the stage. So I have to say, they had an excellent match. This was better than Randy Orton and John Cena by a considerable margin, obviously. Lots of big moves in the ring. They worked it like a pay-per-view main event. Jeff Hardy did a fucking whisper in the wind off the top of the cage. Not a swanton onto a table or anything like that. Just a straight up whisper in the wind off the very top of the cage. That was mental. They go up the ramp and Dixie Carter is next to the ladder, and Jeff Hardy's like, "Don't you fucking touch me when I'm going up this ladder." So he climbs up the ladder, and bear in mind, the ladder is on the stage. If you've seen an episode of Impact on the road, they're in the new Impact Zone, which, by the way, looks fucking tiny. Looks like there's about 70 people in it. It's really terrible. But they've retained the ramp from when they went on the road. So they have the big screen and the big lights entrance. So they've got the cool entrance from the road, at least. And they've got the elevated stage that's on par with the apron. And it looks really hard and not very nice to fall on. So Jeff Hardy climbs to the top of this ladder, and Rockstar Spud, who is now Dixie Carter's butler, right? And I must say, he's actually quite amusing in that role.
He had a bright pink shirt on with a bright yellow dicky bow.
Yeah. So he comes out and pushes this ladder over, and Jeff Hardy fucking falls off the top of this ladder onto the stage. This is after doing the Whisper in the Wind in the ring off the top of the cage. This man is like 36 or something, and he's still doing this.
The type of bump he took is a little like how Seth Rollins jumps over the crowd barricade when he makes his entrance, like a rolling somersault almost. Jeff Hardy took this move off the ladder onto the stage.
He landed like on his shoulder and very nearly on his head, and just with a fucking massive thud. It was nasty as fuck. I mean, this is the type of thing people would usually take with a table to break their fall, but he just took it on the floor. Oh, it was really brutal. And so then Magnus got up and he got the title, and everyone booed, and he celebrated with the Carter administration. Kind of basically pointed out that it was a ruse all along, that there was collusion. So I guess he's the corporate champion. Talking wise, he did okay on this show. Wrestling wise, he had a great match. People were unhappy to see him win because they don't like the Carters. And yeah, I think the jury's still out on him, but I thought this was a very good edition of Impact and a hell of a main event.
Also, the strong finish as well, the angle and the match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was an enjoyable show.
I've seen a lot of negatives being thrown towards Rockstar Spud in his role, but I really like it. I mean, I feel like wrestling generally, when it comes to that sort of thing, takes itself a little too seriously, like the Authority in WWE. When you think back to like the Corporation in the late 90s, they always had the Patterson and Briscoes.
It was all slapstick.
There's always not that so much as slapstick, but you do have the little, the patsies, so to speak, who, while the segments can be serious or whatever, you've got the bumbling fools to take some of the brunt. And I just feel like that's been missing for quite a while. I mean, even with like the Vicky Guerreros of the world, you don't really have that wacky patsy to take the fall for the main heels,
And plus, look, they tried Rockstar Spud as a guy, as a proper wrestler in the X Division, who walked to the ring like Randy Orton and took himself too seriously, and I just thought it was terrible,
Yeah. He's
a little short fella who is charismatic enough in a kind of wacky way, but not in a take him seriously way, and I'm interested in this role. I think he can be a good little comedic foil, as you say.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll probably give the show a watch through to the at least through to what they've taped so far. Probably to Genesis. They have a unification bout forthcoming as well with AJ. Spoilers.
Since I've got the fast internet now, I could probably go back to downloading high def Impact and watch it again, because that was part of my reason for not watching Smack, especially not so much SmackDown. SmackDown is just completely pointless. What Impact definitely is, my internet was so slow, I'd come home from work and have spent nearly an hour downloading it, and then while watching, I was like, I can't be bothered. But now it'll take me like 6 minutes to download the show, so I could probably, Impact. The problem with Impact was it became so dull that it just became hard to watch, and now I just feel like with characters like Rockstar Spud, knocking about Ethan Carter. Maybe it's a little bit more palatable.
Yeah, I like Ethan Carter too. He seems like a fun character.
The Bromans, my favorite wrestlers in the world. Mm-hmm. I'm sad to hear they weren't on it though, with their awesome entrance and Zima Ion with the horn.
Well, to be fair, they tape like fucking 6 weeks, so they space stuff out, I guess.
Fingers crossed they're on some of them then, because
they're probably main eventing 2 of the other shows.
Or maybe they're not any of them. They didn't show up for that 2-day taping.
But yeah.
Check it out.
So I think we call it a wrap there.
Yeah, next week is our year-end award show. Don't forget.
I guess, yeah.
We'll have to go back to our What I might do is I might go back to our previous 3 and we can go through some trends, our wrestlers of the years, and take a walk down memory lane because what I've seen of the Raw show, I don't think we're gonna get much discussion out of that one.
Mm. If
So, yeah.
you're one of those people who was fond of CSP in 2011, you might get a laugh out of this feature we like to call Christian Always Loses. Or, hang on, we need a better pun than that. Something Christian. You might we call Christian celibacy. No, okay. So yeah, we're gonna do we'll take a walk down memory lane. We're gonna do our awards. I completely forgot about that, but I'll come up with something. And we will reflect on Christmas. Because next week it'll be the 28th. Christmas will be but a memory, as will Boxing Day and St. Stephen's Day. We'll be approaching the new year, and we'll have to do our resolutions, lads. We'll have to. What do we want to change about ourselves and the show? What do you, the listener, want to change in 2014 in your life, in wrestling, or what would you like CSP to do in 2014? There is your homework, listeners. If you made it this far into the show, which I hope you did, go to ChairShotPodcast.com, go to the Contact Us tab, and email myself, Paul, or Joe with your 2014 resolutions for yourself, for wrestling, or for CSP, and we will read them on the show and we will reflect on them.
Let us know what you got for Christmas as well.
Let us know what you got for Christmas too, yeah.
Because I'm getting off my brother the Nintendo Legend of Zelda Hyrule Historia book, okay? Which is a book chronicling the history of the Legend of Zelda, right? And what I was expecting was, a little, maybe 100 pages, sort of. It's fucking enormous. It's such a big book.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it's like nearly 1.5 feet high.
It's like Lord of the Rings.
No. Oh, The Hobbit was good, by the way.
Oh yeah, you saw that. You didn't talk about that.
Did I not talk about that? The Hobbit was excellent, by the way. There you go. Much better than the first one. The first one's not very good. Hobbit 2, very good. First one is just a series of events that happen with people walking in between.
Isn't that the name? Isn't that the subtitle? Just a series of events?
No, what is it? It's The Hobbit. Hang on.
Desolation of Smaug.
No, that was the second one, The Destination of Smaug. I have the first one here on Blu-ray. Hang on.
Is it Smaug? That stuff you clear out of your cock.
Oh, Barry.
What?
Maybe you do.
What? Smaug?
Yeah.
Is that like a Limerick slang or something?
That's Smeg.
Smeg. Smaug.
Still, that's pretty close.
The first one's
Not-
called An Unexpected Journey.
There you go. Yeah. Ooh, Journey, that's a good game.
That sounds like a TNA paper. It's generic.
Don't stop, Hobbit.
But anyway,
Hold on to that ring.
I've already got my Christmas present.
Oh, you have, of course.
Could have waited till Christmas.
Well, actually, it's not even. It was originally going to be money towards the phone, but before I got the phone, I wanted to have my trip up to Dublin that I've discussed on the show, and so I was giving money for that. And so my mum was like,
He never visited me, by the way.
well, no, you knew I was going. I told everyone I was going, and I didn't know you'd be in Dublin City, and you knew what days I'd be there, so I'm not having that.
Never got in touch with me. That's all I know.
You knew I was going.
I knew you'd be busy. I mean, you maybe wouldn't have time for little old Paul.
Busy socializing to also socialize. Shut up. Anyway, the point is,
Next time.
Mammy even said to me, "Are you sure you want this fucking money in October and you won't regret it in Christmas?" And I was like,
money, give me.
Yeah, I was like,
Give me that money, woman.
but yeah, she's just like, she's just asked me like, look, what box sets do you like? And I was like, I don't own any of the Breaking Bad, so just if you see any of them, or I only have the first 3 issues of The Walking Dead, so if you see any of them in town, so I'll have something to discuss. But yeah, we will discuss our Christmas presents. Email us those resolutions, folks, and also at ChairShotPodcast.com is where you can go to.
And maybe email us some of your best and worst of 2013.
Yeah, your year-end awards. We'd also appreciate them. Any kind of email you want, just kind of reflecting on the year or looking at the next year. We're all about that. So complete episode archive is also at ChairShotPodcast.com. The Twitter you want to follow for live tweets and updates pertaining to the show is at ChairShotPod. You can follow myself at the Barry Lad. You can follow Paul Griffin at Paul Griffin CSP, and you can follow Joe at Griff Tannen. So, with all that said, folks, we hope you have a very good Christmas. We want to thank you for all the support thus far in 2013. We hope you enjoy this episode. We hope you enjoy your Christmas with your loved ones or your whatever holidays you celebrate. Or even if you don't celebrate any holidays, we hope you appreciate maybe some time off from work or from college or whatever it is you're doing. Thank you very much for listening and supporting, and we will talk to you next week. It is goodbye and Merry Christmas from myself, Barry Murphy. Goodbye. It's goodbye and happy holidays from Paul Griffin.
Goodbye and happy holidays.
And it is just the craziest Kwanzaa you've ever had. And goodbye from Joe Towner.
Happy Hanukkah!
This podcast was brought to you by loudyspeak.com.